Imagine your boy CP with dope slangers. I'm talking before TVs with coat hangers. We sold bangers, show strangers who real flex. Just know the skill next. If you feel best, my skill set so real threat they coincide. With GRIOT free flow, we going live. We flowing vibe and spit straight.
Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. Here for part 2. Letting y'all know the history, everything, giving y'all a little insight, backstory on my life and anything like that. One thing I do want to say about the last episode, just in reference to how I came up my first couple years of school and everything. Don't get it twisted, like I definitely was, making friends and, things of that nature. I actually met my best friend. We was about to fight the first time we met. You feel me? It's so crazy. Shout out my guy, man. K Maddox, my dog. You feel me? We done been through a lot, you feel what I'm saying? But we knew each other since first grade. And when we first met, he was like the new kid in school. Or at least the new kid in the class. I don't remember if he was in the school before first grade. I don't think he was though, but it was like, it's my third year in the school. People, know who I am and everything. And he's just coming to the school. So I don't know what it was. And this might have been just me being an immature kid. I don't know what made me just start messing with him. Like what I remember, like one of my first memories as far as us was I just remember we was at recess one day, and I said something to him. I forgot how the whole shit started, but I said something to him. He said something back to me. I think I might have said like your mother or something like that. And he yoked me up. I'm like, oh shit. And then, when he yoked me up, it got people seen it like right away. You understand? I mean, like staff and stuff like that. And after that, they brought us to the office. And I definitely remember my mother getting called. And I mean, my mom, I was used to my mom getting called up to the school. Mind you, this first grade, man, you feel me? Like I was already, man, when I tell y'all that, all the stuff I was getting into, like, that's when a lot of that, start going on. I started, changing a little bit just because I'm like, yo, people fucking with me, nobody saying nothing. Now I'm about to just start wilding on everybody. You feel me? And I don't remember if both of our parents got caught up. I know my mom's did. And come to find out, we both lived on the same floor in the same building. Like that was just a shock. And once we realized that, we just start, going to each other's cribs. And when you're young, stuff like that, you go to the other person's crib, play video games and stuff like that. And we just grew a bond after that where, just been riding out. You feel me? And since then, like, we done did music together. We done did enough music to damn near have a project. Like, probably 2 or 3 projects, to be honest. We done it got to a point where it was like, if I'm going to the store, I'm going to knock on his door. Like, yo, I'm out to the store. You coming with me? Like, we was on that type of time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just, one of them things. Like, when you make a friend and, they live on the same exact floor, it's like, you just, yo, I'm going to the store. Pull up. We out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, one of those type things. So, even us, we got so many stories amongst each other. I'd have to bring him on for us to, really break down a lot of different stuff, but that's my guy, man. But, I knew him since first grade. You feel what I'm saying? And we still, tight than a motherfucker. You feel me? So, but yeah, that was, part of my first couple years in elementary. Like I said, we was both in 46, the school of the hood. And second, third, and the beginning of fourth grade. Did I do fourth there? No, I think after third was when I left. Or it might have been like beginning of fourth, whenever it was. Was pretty much the same, people bothering me, wouldn't leave me alone. So I just started developing this attitude towards adults. You understand? Towards any kind of authority figures. Like I said, man, it's situations where people are bothering me, and then because of the way I respond, I'm the bad guy. Nobody says anything about the initial shit that happened to me, but everybody got a problem with what I did. So I got to a point where I just start on some F everybody. I'm cursing out teachers and all kinds of stuff. Every day when I get home, I'm getting my ass whooped by my mother because I'm just every day acting up in school. Like, it just developed me it just gave me this attitude to where I'm like, yo, I really gotta like fend for myself out here. You understand what I'm saying? And then, when it gets to a point where, I'm feeling like Mom Dukes is against me, it's just like, man, okay, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. You feel me? And mind you, my mom, she was one of them hardworking, single mothers. Like, she always made sure, there was food on the table. Like, I'm not one of them kids that ever had to wonder, like, when my next meal was coming. Like, don't get it twisted. I didn't have, like, the spectacular Christmases. Like, I always got gifts on Christmas. Not no, crazy expensive stuff. But, I always had a toy or two or a video game or something, under the tree. But, my mom's bust her ass for, especially all the shit I was putting her through. She done even got fired from a job before because she had to keep leaving early to come pick me up. You understand? Like, stuff like that. But, I don't know. Maybe I kind of feel like in a way that growing up, my mind was too advanced for where I was. Like, a lot of my thought processes from back then, I still kind of retain now because, like I say, I'm not a person who bothers people. Like, whenever you see me wilding, it's on defense, but back then, what I will say is that, it just spiraled into a thing where it's like, I felt like everybody's against me, so I'm just, doing whatever. So, third grade passes by. I wind up leaving, and I go to the school. I get transferred to the school 133. Remember I was telling y'all in the last one, about the issue I had with homeboy, and it was gonna get ugly between the families. So I pretty much had to get the boot. You understand? So I end up in PS 133, which is on 131st and 5th Avenue in Harlem, and that's my first experience with traveling, like, away from my hood for school, because 46 was right downstairs, but 133 was you know, I gotta take the bus to get there. You understand? And now I'm starting to venture away from home by myself on a regular basis. So, you know, shit started getting different for me at that time. I meet Fayback. If y'all don't know Fayback, you know, I didn't mention this in a couple blogs before, but that's another one of my guys that, you know, I'm real close with now. You know, if y'all don't remember, he's the dude that brought out the paperwork in the Lux and Clips battle. Yeah. I knew him for an awful long time. And I mean, like, knew him. Like, you know, I first met him when I was going to that school, 133. And me and him, it's crazy that, you know, me and him come from a similar type of household structure as far as, like, the single mom, the pop's not around. And we both kind of developed, like, this rebellious attitude towards authority. Like, we was both them kids, like, you couldn't tell us nothing. Like, you understand? We just was moving to our own beat. You know, with me going to 133, I start seeing different types of people. Like, you start seeing more kids that are, like, involved in, like, gangs and, you know, stuff like that. Like, that was the first time I started getting asked, like, where you from? Like, that was something that kind of opened my eyes to things, because then you start getting the feel for where you live. Like, now I start realizing, yo, I'm from Harlem. Like, and you start understanding that it's like respect for certain hoods and shit like that. So when a person asks where I'm from, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Colonial II, and people start saying, oh, that your hood is pussy and, you know, stuff like that. Mind you, you know, and it's just keeping it a buck. It's not a lot of known people coming from my hood. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as far as people who was really like that young, like, you talking 9 or 10 years old and really, like, outside busting a gun and stuff like that. Because, mind you, there was kids at that age that was running around wilding, like, that was known in their hoods and stuff like that. And going through them years of, like, you know, the late elementary years, junior high, high school, you know, telling people where I'm from, it's like my hood don't get no type of respect. So people was treating me a certain way when I start going to 133. And I mind you, like I said, it's in 4th grade. Now I got to start going extra hard, because now people are just treating me like, oh, yeah, this dude from Colonial, we don't know nobody from that hood. So, you know, he apparently, you know, it gets taken as, oh, this person is soft because he's from this hood and we don't know nobody from this hood. Okay. And people got reality checks real early. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, the cycle really kind of continued there. I did 4th grade, 5th grade, and the first month of 6th grade there. And same shit, me getting into trouble. When I was in 4th grade, it got to a point where my mom had to come sit in the class with me in order for me to act right. You understand what I'm saying? And that was just, you know, that was just kind of crazy. Like, I really was wilding when I was younger, man. Like, if you somebody who, you know, you see how I move on social media and how I move when I have, like, issues with people and stuff like that, I was really wilding on a different level. Mind you, this is in-person wilding. Like, the people that I have to be around every day, these are the people I'm getting into it with, getting in fights with every day and stuff like that. Like, it was really a different me back then. You understand what I'm saying? And it was just so much that was going on, and I'd be like, yo, I don't know how I made it through all that. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, 133. I did 4th, 5th. I did like the first month of 6th grade. Now, let me tell you how bad it was. Like, at that time, 6th grade was the last grade of elementary school, right? So you would think if I'm in a school, I might be doing bad, acting up or whatever. You would think like they'd be like, okay, this is last year here, 6th grade. He gonna close the year out, and then we don't ever have to see this kid again. No. I was so much of a problem child that when 6th grade rolled around and they realized that I was still there, they wanted me gone. They wasn't gonna take another year of me. You understand what I'm saying? So that should let y'all know what type of time I was on by that time. You understand? I wound up going to another school, PS 194. It's on 144th between 7th and 8th. You feel me? And I was still getting into my shit here and there. I wound up cursing out my homeroom teacher a few times, even though they come to realize she really was like cool as shit. But I think I do feel like I did a little bit too much when it came to her, because she was really like one of the few teachers that, would put up with the BS I was doing. Every other teacher I was coming across, it was just, there was always issues, but, her, she really tried to help hold it down. And it was just one day I was doing a bit too much. I guess maybe she was having a bad day, so she said the wrong thing to me. I wound up calling her a bitch. And we got into this whole big shouting match in the classroom, and shit, I pretty much got kicked out. I don't even remember if I attended my 6th grade graduation. I believe I did. That's bad. That's bad when you don't remember if you attended your graduation. You feel me? But that should tell y'all, like, the type time I was on, man. You feel me? Like I said, I just, from, being heavy set and wearing glasses and, going through the different struggle of constantly getting picked on and feeling like, my back is against the wall at all times. I just have this mentality of I'm just going to straight up say F everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no, you can't, and you had to be real tough, like real early. You understand what I'm saying? Like, an environment like Harlem, it forces you into that. That's why now I have thick skin. Like, people could say whatever they want, even though I may reply in certain ways when people say certain stuff, but I don't really be offended. You understand? Like, I don't really take offense to a lot of the things people say. I really just, if you're going to put negativity out there, I'm just going to flip it back on you. You understand? And it don't really, on my end, like when I'm sitting up here and I'm going back and forth with, might be certain people in the comments I'm going back and forth with, I don't really be mad. Like, I just be like, oh, word, you want to say that? Well, watch this. I got something for you. And, I put what I put, but I don't really, I don't be mad or emotional or, none of that type of stuff. Like, at this point, I've been through so much that, it's hardly anything that, I get upset about. Like, I've worked jobs and had supervisors mad at me because of how nonchalant I am about shit. You understand? That's just how I am. Like, I really don't be caring about a lot of shit. You feel me? But, yeah, so, 6th grade, I got kicked out of 133 and had to do my last year in 194. I wound up, it's crazy. The class that I was in, towards the end of the year, I got kicked out of my main class and had to finish out like the last month in another class. I forgot the dude's name. It was Peterkin or something like that. Like, I had to do my last month in his class, and after that, I was able to move on and go on to junior high school. And I'm gonna cover junior high school in this episode too, because I feel like I did waste a good amount of time on, like the first couple minutes, just kind of recapping and going over things from elementary in 46. But junior high school, I went to RMLA, the Renaissance Military and Leadership Academy. Now, y'all got to keep stuff in mind as y'all are watching these episodes, because it's certain key things that I'm going to tell y'all. Like for this RMLA joint, this is what y'all got to understand, right? It was on 129th in Amsterdam. Was that Amsterdam it was on? Yeah, it was on Amsterdam. Right? So this RMLA, it's in a building. Like the main building is 43. But 43 houses different schools. It houses 43. It houses RMLA, which we took up the first floor. We took up like the back of the first floor. It was 172, and it was, I think, another school in there. So I think it was like 3 or 4 schools in there. And they was a middle school. Yeah, there was a middle school, but they also had 6th grade. So they did 6th, 7th, and 8th. You feel me? But I wound up going in 7th. Now, mind you, this is the middle school, right? Everybody knew who I was in that middle school within the first few days, and I'm going to tell y'all why. Remember I told y'all, I was in 3 different elementary schools. I was in 46, which is in my hood. I was in 133, and I was in 194. The Renaissance Military and Leadership Academy was a bootleg boot camp type of school run by, they were ex-army people who thought that they was tough until they came across people who we was. Now, going back to what I'm saying about, the other 3 schools, I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. All of the worst kids from all of the different elementary schools and stuff were in this junior high school. So I'm seeing people that I was in 46 with, that I was in 133 with, and that I was in 194 with. You understand? So I'm seeing the students I had problems with, the students I was cool with, all from these 3 schools. So when I'm here, I kind of feel right at home because I done spent a lot of time with a lot of these niggas already. So Fayback is here. Another dude named Keith that I was in 194 with was there. A dude named Curtis, rest in peace to him. He was there. Another dude named Rob, a dude named Avi. Like, it was a bunch of people, even females, from those other schools I was in that was in this school. You feel me? So, I was chilling there. I was still getting my bullshit with people back and forth. Let me tell you, man, me and Fayback was probably like the 1-2 punch of that school. Like, what I mean by that is, on a daily basis, if it wasn't him getting called to the office to get in trouble, it was me. Me and him probably got the most. Like, if the PA system or intercom, whatever you want to call it, whenever, before they start talking, it's like a beep that come on, go beep, and then the person start talking, I always knew it was either me or Fayback that was getting called to the office. You understand what I'm saying? Because we was always in some shit. You feel me? There, it was so interesting because it was like the Marvel versus Capcom of the schools. Like, everybody from this school, from that school, from this school, from that school, all in one. And it was bad, man. It was so crazy. One we had these ex-military sergeants there that, you know, they think because they adults and because they might have did some time in the army that they was tough. They used to try to have us at lunchtime, because we wore like these tan uniforms, and they would try to have us online doing like the about face and the salute and all that other bullshit. We used to be violating them niggas at recess, having us do them in military, I forgot what they was called, exercises or whatever they called. We wasn't with that shit. So we used to be talking, laughing at them, throwing shit at them, all kinds of stuff. You know, and you can't force kids into a situation like that. Like, badass kids like us, putting us in a school that's based on like a boot camp was the wrong thing to do, because that shit did nothing for us. If anything, that made us worse. You understand what I'm saying? So that didn't turn out well. I'm trying to think, what stories do I got from there? I do got the one time, I ain't gonna hold you. I got the one time where I got punched in the face and I ran across the street because there was this girl that I used to always have these issues with. And was it her? No. It wasn't her. It was somebody else in the school that I was having issues with. And it was like they called one of their mans or something to the school to you know, to I guess, I don't know if he had the dude to come pick him up or whatever the case was. And me and the dude ain't see eye to eye. You understand? So I'm coming out the school to go home. Now, mind you, that school is right next to projects, Manhattanville. You understand? So anytime you seen a bunch of dudes waiting outside the school, usually it was I don't know if it was the beat niggas up or whatever it was, but it wasn't good. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, and you knew if they was out there that they was from the projects right there. You understand? Because they was just there chilling. But this dude that I ain't see eye to eye with, he called his man to the school. I'm coming out the gate, and all of a sudden, I get sucker punched. Now, for one, my glasses fell off, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You understand? Like, I probably would have stayed and fought if I would have got a heads up as to what was going on. But, yo, no bullshit. This was the Charlemagne before Charlemagne. You understand what I'm saying? Like, remember when Charlemagne got and at least Charlemagne had a chance to turn around and see who was looking at, asking him for a drop and all that. You remember he got sucker punched and he ran? No. I didn't know what happened. Like, all I felt was a boom, and I got Forrest Gump out this bitch. Like, I got up out of there, you feel me? And I was mad as hell because this dude broke my glasses, all kinds of shit. Like, I came to school the next day. They wanted me to try to identify, you know, who it was, because people had seen it, like staff and stuff like that had seen the incident happen. I guess he must have ran, you know, when he seen that people was on him. But they wanted me to come to school the next day to identify who did it. They got me walking through the classrooms. I can't even see. First of all, I didn't see who hit me. You understand? But they putting pressure on me. Yo, you need to say who did it, blah, blah, blah. So they walking me through class, and I just said, I didn't see the person. You understand what I'm saying? That was kind of one of them situations that, you know, never went nowhere else afterwards. But that was probably one of the wildest things that happened. When I was in 7th grade, right? Remember I told y'all there was 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the school. There was a kid who was when I was in 7th, I believe he was in 6th. I think it might have been a year behind me. But his name was Ronald. And I actually was in 194 with the dude. You understand? When I was in 6th grade, that's the school I finished out 6th grade in. And when we was in 194, dude was cool. Like, you know, me used to say what's up and, you know, stuff like that. And when we get here, dude just completely switch up. Like, I don't know if maybe he trying to, you know, gain some new friends, or, you know, he trying to, you know, I don't know what he trying to do, but dude was soft as baby shit. You feel me? But when I'm in the military joint with him, I don't remember if I think I was in 8th and he was in 6th. I think it might have been 2 years behind me. But when I'm in 8th, he's just like doing wild extra shit, like doing just wild extra weirdo shit. You feel me? And we will always get into like some kind of back and forth, like whether it's in the lunchroom or whether it was at outside afterwards at recess. And he would just always be doing some weirdo shit, like coming up to me, bothering me, and running behind me, smacking me in the back of my head. And it's like, yo, what is up with this dude? Like, why he keep feeling the need to do that? And I would wind up chasing him around because I'm trying to find him so I could put the beats on him. But, you know, it'd just be one of those things where it's like, he do something to me, I'm chasing him, and then he running the staff, like, you know, and they getting on me like, yo, why you keep on bothering him? Yo, the dude hit me first. Like, why y'all stopping me for? You feel what I'm saying? So, it was finally one day, because let me tell you, every day that I was in the yard, I was looking for him. It got to a point where he wasn't coming out to the yard no more. You understand? And it was this one day. I never forget it. It was like the peak of 8th grade. It was just so much tension in the school between different classes of the different grades and stuff like that. And he was on one side of the yard with his 6th grade peoples. I was with a couple people from my class, and they kind of put the battery in my back a little bit, but I wanted to do something to the kid anyway. But, you know, they told me, they just, you know, we chilling. They like, yo, son, he over there. What you trying to do, son? I'm like, yo, no more talking. So I walk over there, right? We all walking over there. All the other kids that's in the yard that know what's been going on, they see what's about to happen. Like, so I'm walking, the yard just start forming a circle. Like, they just start forming a circle because they know I'm about to raise hell on somebody. You feel me? So I walk over and I don't even say nothing. They see me approaching, son. He immediately start throwing his hands up because he getting ready for it. You understand? It was nothing that needed to be said. I'm walking over there with the energy. He know what type time it is. You understand? And first of all, he tried to do the Mayweather, you know, because I'm a little bit bigger. He is a little light-skinned dude. He, you know, he not skinny, but he not, you know, my size neither. But he could kind of move around a little bit. So yeah, he putting his hands up, but he's also trying to do the running thing at the same time. And he's realizing he can't do it because this circle is formed. You can't get out of this. You understand? So it gets to finally back him into a corner, grab him by his collar, and gave him what he deserved. You understand? From that day, it was no more 6th grade versus 8th grade beef, no more 7th grade versus this grade beef. It was no more of that. I put a whole end to that. You understand what I'm saying? And I used, you know, it's funny. I used to be on my way home, and I used to run into his sister. And his sister, you know, she was this little fat, heavy-set chick. She used to be so mad, like, that I beat him up like that. Like, man, she used to be pissed. Like, she used to, I would walk past, And the funny thing is, I don't know if she did go to the school, but I think she went to one of the other schools in the building. But you know, she knew what happened. So you know, I you know, be walking past their block. They lived on like 145th and like 8th or something like that. And every time I walk past that building, you know, she'd be outside and, you know, she'd have something to say like, oh, you fat motherfucker, you did this, that, and the third. But, you know, it is what it is. Your brother got beat up. Like, imagine being a sister and you got a brother and he can't even protect you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Not that I'm going to, you know, try to attack the sister, but suppose I was that type of person and was on that type of time. You don't got nobody around you that can do nothing, so your best bet is just shut up and leave me alone. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, she just kept on going, and I would always laugh because it's like, yo, you're literally here mad that your brother got beat up. You understand what I'm saying? After he kept bothering me. Like, and that's always been my thing. Like I said, like I always go back to that because, you know, it's just it's a reflection. It's the same way I move now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people will say things and do things, and I'll let y'all rock for a little while, but it's gonna come a time where it's like, yo, I'm not gonna sit up here and keep playing with niggas and let niggas keep saying whatever about me. You understand? Eventually, you're gonna have to face repercussions for these things that you're saying and doing. So, you know, your best bet out the gate is just to leave me alone. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's pretty much how my elementary and, you know, junior high went. You know, high school is a whole nother beast, man. High school is a whole nother beast. I'll probably jump into that on this part 3, you know, this next episode. So, you know, make sure y'all stay tuned. I definitely got quite a few stories. Like, I got the first time I got some ass. I got a lot of my transition from, you know, going through junior high and elementary. Like, that shit really made me an angry person. And high school, it was a transition to where I kind of stopped, you know, with the anger and everything. So, you know, it's a lot. Like, it's gonna be a huge turn when I get to this high school part. So, you know, it's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. So, you know, I'm gonna definitely let y'all in. I'm gonna give this a few days to marinate, and we're gonna talk about it, man. So yeah, this was the history of No Mercy, part 2. Part 3 coming soon, and I'll holler at y'all soon, man. Y'all know what time it is. No Mercy, Trap New York shit. NoMercyTV.com.